Right, hello everyone and welcome to round 15 of the AOR Xbox 360 F1 2013 League Season 10. We are at Abu Dhabi today and, unfortunately I'm doing the intro this time because XMG, who usually is here, he's got a bit of a sore throat, I believe, again. A bit of an issue there, so with me again in the commentary box, the man who stepped in at the Belgian Grand Prix earlier this season, it is the FlyingNirangatang. Hello.
Yes, I am back by unpopular demand for this one. Yeah, Matt is away again, unfortunately, with that sore throat. It's the partying, I'm telling you, it's the partying. He needs to stop with that lifestyle. But yeah, nevertheless, I'm back standing in here. It's a big one, Abu Dhabi. A few cars out on a track in this qualifying session. We've only just got underway, though, 12 plus minutes left to go, so you've not missed anything, do not worry. And I'm going to try and keep the Twitch chat even up, so that I can see what some of you guys are saying as well.
That is amazing. You keep an eye on that, and of course you'll be playing the usual XMG role as well of staying in the garage. Watch the timing screen. For me, during the qualifying, I'll be obviously out on track, showing you the cars in action. Seeing as the cars have already started their first flying laps of the session, I will wait a bit before I go through the events of not last week, because last week turned into break week, since a lot of drivers couldn't be there for various reasons. So yeah, 2 weeks ago, there was a bit of an interesting race at India, but we'll get back to that in just a moment.
Yes.
As we are now watching TSR Unleashed on his first flying lap, because that was basically the first car I ended up on board with, so I don't know if you can check his sectors at the moment.
Okay, well, TRL Martin is fastest through the first sector at the moment.
Interesting.
But TSR Unleashed has just set a purple second sector. Limitless JD was second fastest through the first sector, but he hasn't actually got to the end of the second sector. He has just now, but again, he's 2/10 off TSR Unleashed. So it's actually the Red Bull driver who is maybe net fastest at the moment, or I think actually Martin still has that by a couple of tenths at the moment. Evo with a good second sector lap time, but Orbit Pride has just gone purple as well. So take your pick, basically, Fizzy. Martin, Orbit Pride, all on quick laps, and Unleashed as well.
Yeah, and I think a few other drivers have just crossed the line now. Possibly Unleashed is about to cross the line. Let's see what he can do. He goes P3 with his first attempt with a 1:38 flat.
3 thousandths off Evo.
Right, wow, that's very close. So who has gone pole then at the moment?
Martin is fastest at the moment, 1:37.8. Limitless has just gone 800ths off him, literally just across the line. Then it's Evo, Unleashed, who you were on board with, and Yee's just gone across the line as well. So he's currently in 5th.
Yeah, and with Pride and Leobot have both jumped into the pit lane, aborting their first flying lap. Martin also on a very slow in-lap right now. I believe that probably everyone now on in-lap. Limitless also cruising around very calmly there, around the hairpin. So yeah, this is a good time for me then to just catch back up a bit with what happened 2 weeks ago, because it's been a while. It's always when it's a break week, people forget what on earth happened last time.
Oh yes, refresh our memories.
So quickly, India of course was the last race, and a very, very, very crucial one potentially for the championship. Obviously, Tyrrell Martin and Brochek were battling for the win in the early stages of that race, but they ended up with a bit of an awkward collision through the twist a bit in the middle sector. A bit of side pod contact going on, sent Brochek spinning and sent Tyrrell Martin into the wall and way down the field. The man obviously who took advantage of all that was Tyrrell Limitless, the man who needs to catch up to Martin to have a chance at the championship this season. And he closed the gap at the top of the championship to 16 points now with that win. Leobot was a man who took second place last time out, and then Larivo bouncing back from his fantastic, well, not bouncing back, but following up from his fantastic win in Japan, finishing again on the podium last time. So quick look at what the Driver Championship is going into this race. As I said, 16 points between Martin and Limitless at the top. Limitless, another crucial race for him here today, needs to close that gap further. There's only 4 races to go, of course, in this season. Brochek in 3rd, Leobot still holding on to that 4th place. TSR Unleashed, who I believe has been 5th for absolute ages in the championship. and very, very often also in the race results.
He's consistent. That's the main thing, though.
Very, very consistent. Probably a bit more consistent than he would have liked, because I feel like he sounds a bit bored at times with all his 5th place finishes.
Yes, yeah.
But Yi and the two Williams boys very close in the championship, 1 point separating them in the battle for 6th place. Also, interesting stuff further down as well. And a quick look at the team championship. Caterham, Tyrrell Martin's team only 10 points ahead of Marussia, Tyrrell Limitless' team, and also Williams jumping ahead of Mercedes last time out. So, let's go back on track then to see what is going on and see if anyone's
I
on a
would
flyer.
suggest checking out Orbit Pride. He's just on a purple 2nd sector.
Okay, I shall try to find him. Leebot about to start a lap. Here we go, Orbit Pride. Just 10 seconds into his lap, so we can follow him around in that very, I was about to say lovely Sauber. It's not very lovely at all. It's grey and dull. But
Do not knock the Sauber, Fisi.
look, man, they've got a reasonable car this year in real life, but that grey one is just. And the Chelsea badge at the front doesn't help for me anyway.
Well, I'm 100% with you on that one.
Yeah. So, I don't know, can you check his first sector time then for Orbit Pride?
It's a 17.2, which is a personal best because I think it's his first lap. But for some reason, the purple sectors aren't coming up, but I think that's one of the fastest, actually, so far.
All right. That's good now. Oh, yeah, worth pointing out as well, I suppose, that Brošek, who obviously has been fighting for podiums for many races this season, he unfortunately could not be here. Today, the only man that we thought were going to be there wasn't, obviously Jason. He's having some issues with this game, and also he's not here. So we have 11 drivers, I believe that is then, on the grid today. Orbit Pride having a very, very scrappy final sector. As you can see, he's completely aboard his lap, just taking the closest route to the pit lane.
That's
right about now.
That's actually depressing. He just did a best second sector, and then he's just chucked it all away in the last one.
Alright, so let's try to find someone. He was on a outlap, I think. Unleashed, I don't know what's him again, because he already had his lap in the spotlight. Let's demo with NLR Evo. Going around the hairpin. Starting the second sector. A very long sector with 2 massive straights. Straight line speed. And obviously in the race, DRS will be very crucial. And this will be the main sector for overtaking, and eventually you get into the final sector where it's all about the technique of the driver. Very, very drifty. It can be drifty if you hit the curbs too hard and at wrong angles.
I wouldn't advise. I would not advise.
Yeah, exactly. Those curbs can be pretty vile at even their best days. And yeah, coming towards the end. Oh, so the start of the third sector now is NLR Evo. Not sure, Niran, if you can get an indication of how good his lap is. He's obviously P3.
He's
provisionally
4/10 off in the second sector off Martin and Unleashed currently, so it's a fairly average lap, but it's not going to improve on what he's on now, I would have thought.
Alright, in which case I will probably see if I can find someone else. We got TSR Unleashed right behind him actually. I might as well stay on board, seeing he's also about to complete his second following lap. Currently sitting P4 after his first attempt. He does not pit, so that means he must be on a lap he's reasonably happy with. And he goes P2. A good improvement for Unleashed with 137.8. How far is that of pole then?
Well, it was under a tenth, but Martin, I think, just followed him across the line and gone even better with a 137.6. So it's back up to 2 tenths. It's literally not changed at all. Because of both of them doing lap times. It's worth pointing out Leicester's just gone 5th as well, the Caterham driver. But apart from that, I think it's pretty much the same. He's dropped down to 6th because of it, and K Block is in 7th. Arianto, Foxside, and Orbit Pride are all on their first laps as well.
And Limitless just crossed the line to go P2 as well, so he's displacing Unleashed right away and not quite matching his championship rival Tyrrell Martin. He is also 2 tenths behind. Oh, and actually,
oh my word!
Limitless drops down to P3. So what have you seen?
37.8 last sector, a 10th faster than Martin and Limitless. It came out of nowhere, to be honest. I wasn't actually expecting that at all.
Wow. So Yi has basically gone taking provisional pole. Limitless will not be able to do anything about it because he's retired from the session.
Clearly reckons he can't improve, but I reckon there's a lot of room for improvement, and Martin reckons the same. He's DNF'd retired from the session. Yi does as well, so he's pretty confident with what he's got. and now it's over to the likes of Unleashed, Evo, and left behind. Of course, Foxside and Orbit Pride haven't set a lap time as well, but yeah, so Martin and Limitless are going to have to settle for second and third at best, and this came back to bite them when I commentated last time in Belgium. I know Martin was on the harder compound, but he ended up dropping to 6th and Limitless to 7th when they did this, when I was last here. I don't know how this tactic has worked since then, but it's risky because obviously there is time to be found as you progress through the session.
Yeah, that's the thing. Obviously, weather is not something that will come into play around this particular circuit, but yeah, there can be time to find as the session goes on. We're currently on board with Foxside in the other Sauber. I believe neither of the Sauber drivers have a lap on the board at the moment.
No.
So kind of under pressure at the moment. Oh, and Foxside completely ruins his lap by, I think he might have braked a bit on the curb there, gone straight on in the braking zone. And you would have thought that the game, given a corner cut warning there, invalidated the lap.
This isn't ideal for either of the Sauber drivers, to be honest. The pressure might be getting to them. There's just under 3 minutes of the session to go, and neither of them have lap time.
Yeah, and especially if Foxside just invalidated this lap, he's going to have potentially just one more chance to get around. He goes back into the pit, so will he have time? He needs a super fast run through the pit. I don't think he'll have time, actually, to go back out and get around the lap to start another flyer, to be honest.
He's going to have to literally do a qualifying lap time as soon as he comes out of the pit lane.
Orbit Pride has just gone back into the pits as well. Both the Saubers are currently in the pits with just over 2 minutes to go in the session. As, oh my word, Leobot as well, who also hasn't got a lap time. He's completely broken his front wing and he's going to be weight on the field as well. A lot of qualifying bottlers going on this session. It's unbelievable right now.
Leobot gives up instantly and retires from the session, and there's going to be people well out of position. Foxside, Orbit Pride, and Leobot are all going to have to come from the back. Didn't see the accident. I'll see it on the stream in a second, but oh my word, he's bottled. They've all bottled it completely. Pressure getting to both the Saubers and the Toro Rosso.
Yeah, so that could make for some interesting. Obviously, a few Orbit Pride and Leobot, who in certain races have been very, very fast. Maybe you could have some interesting races through the field from the back of the grid. We're currently on board with NLR Evo in P5. He has started a flying lap. I believe it's only him, and I think Unleashed might have a chance to get another lap in, and also potentially
Lest is on a lap as well.
Lest
seems like
as well,
a decent one. None of them are setting the world alight, but it seems like a decent one from all of them.
Something just need a quick sip of water there.
Started
drying up a little bit.
It's difficult, this job, you know.
It is very difficult, and yeah, the 3 names you mentioned are the only 3 left on track at the moment. The 2 Sauber drivers just chilling in the pits at the moment, I think, and will be starting towards the back. So Evo, well, must admit I haven't taken too much of a notice of his lap so far as to whether he's been hitting his braking points and his apexes, but a little bit wiggly over the curbs through that triple chicane to start Sector 3. Not really ideal for him. Don't know, can you see anything on the first 2 sectors for Evo, whether he's on course for an improvement here?
It looks as if it's a PB first sector, but it's off the pace in the second, so he may improve depending on how much he's improved in the first sector. But it probably won't be by anything near enough because he needs to gain 0.2 of a second on the guy in front of him, which is Unleashed.
Yeah, so obviously also a lot of time to find the last sector, but not enough for Evo. Clearly, he stays in P5. Unless F1 also come around the final corner just now, and does not improve on his position either. Jesus, we only have 7 people setting a lap
time.
And Yi with an incredible lap there to take pole. Martin and Limitless in second and third. Unleashed, Evo, Lest and K-Block, the only other men to set a lap time, and you can see the rest there. The guys that didn't set a lap will be just put in a random order towards the back, I would assume.
Yeah, the session of the bottlers is what I'm going to call that one.
Yeah, man, that's just a compliment. Obviously, there is occasionally a qualifying session where 1 or 2 drivers fail to set a lap, but to have like 4 or 5 not manage it, that's very, very unusual. Yeah. But Yi, the man celebrating after the pole position, and obviously, crucially, Martin qualifying ahead of his championship rival Limitless there on the first row. But you never know, they are. Yeah, they're going to be starting right next to each other, as they very often do. And hopefully we'll have an exciting race between the two of them.
Oh, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun on the bun down into turn 1, isn't it? Those two next to each other. And Yi. It's a recipe for carnage, isn't it? Let's be honest, down into turn 1. Those three together.
It can be. It can be. It's.
It can be. It can be.
They've had some. They've had their shares of scary moments throughout the season. As we are obviously at Abu Dhabi, which is a very interesting one in AOR Xbox 360 F1 League terms. Especially for Limitless, I have to say, because it's known as his bad luck track, this one. He's had an absolutely atrocious run of form in the last 3 seasons here at Abu Dhabi. Let's just go through it. Season 7, on this same game, he finished the race in 10th place. Less than 2 seconds ahead of me, in fact. I also had a bit of a bad race on that occasion. Yeah. Limitless, I believe, actually, on that occasion, he had a bit of a comment together with Martin at some point in the race. I don't know if that's an omen of things to come.
That's definitely an omen, especially now you've brought it up. Definitely an omen.
Martin actually finishing in 9th, the position ahead of him in that race. Season 8, Limitless finished outside the points in 12th position. 1 minute, 32 seconds off the pace. Yeah, I can't remember exactly what happened with him on that occasion, but there were some issues, that's all I know. And obviously, Season 9 last season on F1 2014, Limitless came into the race hoping to win the championship, going in with a good lead in the championship, obviously, after a big run of disconnections. And guess what happened at Abu Dhabi? He disconnected again.
Oh,
and
tragedy. That's
where he lost the championship to Brochek, despite Brochek's best efforts of trying actually to finish low enough for him to not steal it from him.
It was a good attempt at sportsmanship. I'll give him an A for effort,
attempt.
But it was unfortunate. Someone got a penalty in the end, didn't he? And then promoted him back up to championship winning position.
So yeah, Season 9, Abu Dhabi, Brochek accidentally took the championship from Limitless, and therefore Limitless still not an AOR champion. Something he will be very keen to rectify, obviously, this season. He's motivated to do it all season, but Martin has really tried his best to make it hard for him, and yeah, pressure still on Limitless in the championship fight with 16 points to make up to Martin still.
Well, he'll be hoping for a better pit entry than he had in Season 8. The chat reckons that's the reason why he was so far off the pace in Season 8 on this game, was because he crashed into the pit wall.
Yeah.
On pit entry, so he'll be hoping certainly for a lot better today. But it's a good position on the grid. 3rd is okay. Right in touching distance of his championship rival and right behind G as well. So this is going to be a really fascinating start to the race. I think it'll be fascinating all the way through.
Yep, certainly. I just did a cheeky tweet to say the race is about to begin, so if people watching this could do a cheeky retweet. This is what XMG usually asks for. Hopefully.
Not just a retweet, a cheeky
retweet. You need to do it cheekily, otherwise I will not accept a retweet.
You've got to do it whilst eating an ant at the end of the day.
So yeah, here we are on the grid then. It's race time. It's the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It is Fisi 91 and the FlyingNirangatang. Not qualifying for you today. We are commentating for you today. And yeah, luckily not qualifying because that wouldn't have gone well. But yeah, 11 drivers on the grid for 28 laps here at Abu Dhabi, and the lights are about to go out, and we are away very quickly, and we are going to try to jump. I saw you drove the grid there, that was interesting. Let's see. Oh my word, Lee Yi is very much under pressure from Martin into turn 1. Martin up the inside, but Yi holding around the outside, but he's messed it on the curb. Martin spun
as well.
Oh, there's a big crash. Martin has definitely been involved there. He might have lost an M plate, I believe. I saw the rest of his front wing still intact.
Yeah, Martin's got somehow survived with his entire front wing, but carnage. I don't mean to brag, but I did sort of call it. I didn't mean to. There's been an accident down at the chicane as well. Looks like it's Leo Bot, is it, in the Toro Rosso?
Yeah, I believe so.
He's just gone around the outside of him. He's lost a lot of time here as well. And TRL Martin came back across the track and collected K-Block as well. Let me just see who's leading this one. It's Limitless who's managed to benefit from that, and he's out in front from Unleashed.
Right, yeah. I don't think that was really a case of dirty driving from Mia. I think that was a case of him getting caught on that curb on the outside, which can auto-spin you, and unfortunately that's what happened. He got spun right into the path of TRL Martin, and they both got put into the wall. But the guys who qualify 1 and 2 are now at the back of the field. Limitless, of course, taking advantage again. So it's a second race in a row where Martin been an unfortunate part of an incident, and Limitless has taken advantage. Obviously, this time Martin hasn't dropped quite as far back as he did last time in India, when he had to go in for a front wing change. I think he got away with just losing an end plate.
I hate to break the news, but I think Yi was involved in the accident between Leobot as well down at the chicane.
Really? I thought that was a Sauber that he...
Oh, maybe. The colours are fairly similar, but anyway, I mean, whatever the circumstance, he's a long way down the order now, and same for Martin. But I think both of them managed to get away without any front wing damage, as far as I'm aware. What about Yi as well?
Yeah. So the order then, I assume that's Unleashed and up in second place behind Limitless. We got NLR Evo running in third position ahead of Martin's teammate Last F1. Tiny gap maybe starting to form. Behind for fifth place, I think there was a bit of side-by-side going on back there actually. K-Block was fifth starting the lap, but he's just been passed by Ria. Haryanto's up to fifth place in the Red Bull.
Great start.
Yeah, great stuff for them too. Obviously taking advantage of, as there was a bit of lag there. One of the Saubers just jumping ahead of K-Block. That was very interesting. Just lagging past him by the looks of it. See who that was. That was Orbit Pride. I don't know which of the Saubers were involved in that incident with Leobot, but obviously all the cars still going reasonably close together.
Ooh, Evo's making a move up the inside on Unleashed down to the first of the chicanes. I think Unleashed is just going to hold it around the outside, and he will do for the second part of the chicane, and probably use a bit of Kers on exit as well. Obviously no DRS, because we're not 3 laps into the race yet, but Evo will still get the slipstream down towards the second chicane. Doesn't look as if he's going to be close enough, does it to you, Fizzy?
I am not close enough to really see properly, because I ended up watching Haryanto being overtaken by 2 cars there, I believe. But yeah, obviously Evo battling with Unleashed has given Limitless a chance to break away a little bit. He might have even dropped him out of DRS range. Obviously on the next lap is when we'll start to see DRS activated for these cars down the 2 back straights.
Yeah,
and,
Limitless has extended a pretty decent lead already. I'd say it's a good 1.5, 2 seconds maybe. So he's going to be out of DRS range even before they get there for the first time. And it's because Unleashed and Evo were squabbling a little bit behind Lest, and I think that's actually Orbit Pride, who's made a really good recovery drive already. So after 3 laps, as we just crossed the line now, he's already up into 5th place. So he's avoided all the carnage, K-Block, and then obviously Martin and Yi, Leobot, and I think it was Foxside actually made contact with Leobot.
Yeah,
and he's made it all the way up into 5th place and past Rio Haryanto.
So, a very interesting start to this race in the first 2 laps. A bit unusually, I'm going to say, Orbit Pride is really, really lagging. Looks like you went completely on at the chicane there, but it was clearly just lagging. Now it looks like he's gone into the Caterham. But that also looked like lag, because the Caterham is able to hold on to that.
It was a tiny bit of contact, if it was contact at all.
Yeah. That's a move. Evo trying again with DRS this time, and I think he's making it work this time with DRS. He's got his car ahead into the first chicane. Unleashed will now have the chance to get back at him, obviously. Straight onto another DRS straight after the chicane. And Unleashed make the move straight back. He's pretty close, and is immediately gaining once he opened that rear wing flap. There we go. Ooh, but Evo's braked a lot later. Unleashed trying to hold it around the outside, having to cut the corner, and backs off, losing the position to Evo. So Evo up to 2nd place after some very solid battling. I think I saw as well Last F1 getting very close to Unleashed behind. Orbit Pride also still hanging on. There's a gap also now forming very much behind 5th place Orbit Pride.
Yeah, that's the Fox side, the other Sauber. Thierry Martin, and he's just gained another position because Haryanto has gone to Qatar and back through there. That he's missed the apex by an absolute mile. He's lost 3 positions because Martin's gone through, Leobot's gone through, K-Block's gone through as well.
Wow.
Martin's up into 7th place. He just did a double overtake on K-Block and Leobot. A slightly more difficult move on Leobot. There was a lot of contact as well. Well, not a lot, but a tiny bit of wheel banging. And I think, has Haryanto just gone into the pit lane behind K-Block? Is it a bit early for pit stops?
Oh yeah, there is a car in the pit. 2 cars in the pits, I think, even. Lap 3. Sounds a bit early, really. But I would say it's certainly better pitting a bit too early around here than pitting too late. Obviously, I have first-hand experience of staying out a bit too late on the first stint around here. I think it was F1, well, I think it was Season 7 on this same game, where both me and Limitless stayed out until lap 6 on these soft tires, and it didn't go well. We were literally just sliding around the lap and it was just painful. Part of the reason Limitless obviously did not too well on that occasion. Same with me. But did you say no? So okay, so none of the top 5 have pitted yet. But clearly some of the guys in the group behind have.
Les is trying to make a move on TSR Unleashed. Down the end of the back of the second DRS straight. He's going to try and go around the outside. It'll become the inside for the second part of the chicane, then the outside again for the third part of the chicane. Orbit Pride is just behind them, trying to make a little bit of movements on them, but it all stays status quo in the end. Unleashed looks certainly the slowest out of the top 5. He's had people crawling over the back of him pretty much the whole race so far. Evo obviously dispatched him and has now jumped up the road. Yeah. And Lest and Orbit Pride are right behind him, and actually behind Foxside, Martin and Leobot are catching ever so slightly as well.
Yeah, they are. I think, yeah, you're right there. The gap's definitely close a bit between P5 and P6, as we now have Unleashed going into the pits after lap 4. I think NLR Evo from second is also pitted, which means that Orbit Pride will go up to third for the time being. Last F1 up to second. So, might actually be worth jumping back and see where these guys end up coming out. NLR Evo now going into the tunnel exit here. Very special exit here at Abu Dhabi.
Very unconventional, isn't it?
Yeah. Pretty cool, though.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Evo's coming out. He's definitely the first of the people that have pitted so far. Unleashed and Foxside are pretty much unchallenged as well. I think it was only Haryanto that's pitted already, wasn't it? Who has come out in front of Martin.
There we go. So Haryanto is running in 8th at the moment.
Oh.
Yi
and Yi.
Yeah,
wow. Martin.
Yeah. Yi and Martin close together.
Yeah, it's... well, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything, because every time I've said something, something's happened, but Arianto will probably have a job keeping Yi and Martin behind, considering earlier on in the race when they breezed past him fairly easily. Yeah, Limitless, though, still out in front by a mile. Sorry, what were you going to
say? Actually, as Yi is trying a move now on... he's gone wide when he tried a move on Haryanto there, and Martin's immediately tried to take advantage. They're going to be side by side. Yi, though, using his curse to pull ahead. And he will as well have DRS, both of them having DRS. So he actually done a good job defending there by using his curse. And yeah,
I can only assume Martin didn't have any curse to use, as Rio Haryanto makes a complete hash of the chicane at the end of the second DRS straight, and now he's got Yi and Martin all over the back of him again, despite the fact they were squabbling down the end of the second DRS straight. Martin, a lot of people have been calling for you to show Martin in the chat, and now we're getting a face full of the catering drivers going to go on the outside to get shoved out to dry, out wide. Haryanto's made another mess of that corner. He's going to try and go around the outside, surely not through the penultimate corner. He goes a little bit wide. Just about holds on to it, though.
Yeah, and the leaders have pitted, by the way. Everyone has pitted. The limit has not made a mistake that he did in Season 7. He's pitted before entering lap 6 this time. Martin, will he have a go at Haryanto into turn 1? Haryanto, he just about gives him room, but there was not a lot of it. And Martin will have to be patient still. He obviously will have a good chance once they come down to the back straight now with DRS. Although Haryanto also will have DRS. As Haryanto, he completely messes up the braking.
He's going across the chicane.
Yeah. As K-Block is actually right behind him as well. Where's Haryanto got? There he goes. He's given up the position to Martin. Will now be put under pressure from K-Block. So yeah, I was just going to say before, obviously, discounting the potential for incidents between Yi and Martin. Martin being behind Yi obviously is difficult in the sense that Yi is very fast, as we saw very well from the qualifying session. As Haryanto is now side by side with K-Block through the chicane.
K-Block gets it done.
Does a very good move.
Just in front of that, Martin is absolutely all over the back of Yi. He's going to the outside.
There he is.
Close. I think he's just about got it done. Around the outside, yeah, job done. And behind Haryanto and K-Block are still squabbling, but Martin does just about get the job done on Yi. Clean stuff this time. Nice to see. Them not getting into any more dangerous encounters. Up at the front, I'm guessing it's still Limitless. Up at the
yeah, but it seems to me, I look at the map, and it looks like the top two are very close together. So I think actually Evo were pitting a lap earlier might have very much closed the gap to Limitless.
Yeah, he's definitely the undercut has been very powerful here, hasn't it? Because he's left everyone else behind in the dust, because obviously it was still fairly close between Unleashed and NLR Evo, but clearly Evo's got the better deal out of the first few pit stops, or the first pit stop even.
Yeah, we can see the gap on the screen right here. Limitless has Evo very much within sight behind him. I don't know whether Evo will be within DRS range, though. I'll stay on board with him just to see whether he gets DRS as we end up halfway down this straight. He's only using his curse, as you would expect, and he's too far back for DRS, but we'll be trying to close the gap. Will be hard for him, of course, with one lap more worn tires. Of it, Pride now in 3rd position, which means that he has jumped Unleashed through the pit stop phase. Unleashed in 4th now. Oh, has been overtaken, or potentially anyway, by Lest F1, Martin's teammate. Another clean move, good racing. Unleashed getting a good exit though. Crucial to mention as well, Lest F1, I'm seeing he's still on the soft tires, so he's changed another set of the faster tire here, while Unleashed is on the mediums now. And Unleashed stays behind Lest F1 through that triple chicane. Actually, let's see how the guys behind doing. Leobot is all the way up to 6th now.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all, given he was involved in an accident as well on turn 1. On lap 1 even. In that Toro Rosso. He's got a Sauber behind him. Is that Pride or Foxside? I'm going to assume it's Pride. Oh, it's Foxside.
Pride's all the way up to 3rd at the moment, actually.
Oh, wow. That is not bad at all.
Is that Unleashed who's made a mistake there? He's lost his template in the wall, I think, and he's let Leobot through.
He has, yeah. He's got the Sauber right behind it. I didn't actually see that. I was looking behind and somehow missed that.
I think he just underset into the wall. Coming out of the twisted bit,
so
and yeah, you can see his end plate on the right side is clearly missing.
Yeah, so it wasn't exactly the same type of crash that Leobot had in qualifying, where he obviously got on the curb and spun inside. Did he just understeer into the wall?
Yeah. So, Foxside now having a chance. I think it's gone a bit of a bad race for Unleashed at the moment. He had a solid qualifying. I think he started 4th in the race, was up to seconds after Yi and Martin had their incident after the first corner. But now he's dropped down to 6th, and well, he was a bit under pressure from Foxside going onto the straight, but he got a lot better exit in the traction zone, and Foxside not really close enough to challenge at the moment, but might have a chance. Obviously, DRS has closed him right back up again. But once again, Unleashed just nailing the exit better. I think he's got the gap in the bag to cover Foxside's attack off for now. Unleashed, though, has dropped too far off of the battle ahead of him to have DRS himself. Quite crucial as well. So Leobot now, the man challenging Lest F1 for 4th place. Looking behind. Oh, that's Martin.
Oh, hello. I think Lest F1's just made a mistake and it's allowed Leobot through.
Right.
When I think he got on an auto spin curb and he ended up on the grass on the inside. Yeah, because the Toro Rosso driver is in front. That's not helpful, especially when he's on those soft tyres. He wants to make them last, a fairly long time at least. And that's going to flat spot the tyres if he's sliding about all over the place.
Well, so Martin's really pulled away from Yi in 8th place there. Several seconds between him, at least 2 or 3, I would say.
Where's Yi's qualifying pace gone? That's what I really want to know. He hasn't really been able to convert it at all. I know he had the accident on lap 1, but he hasn't really shown much pace throughout, to be honest with you. The only time I've seen him breeze up to the back of anyone was Rio Haryanto. And then he's been passed by Martin since, and he's not actually been able to stay with him. Yeah.
So that's quite interesting. It's hard to say. Obviously, there's certain drivers who are good in qualifying, not as good in the race, and vice versa. Obviously, it depends a bit on the circuit as well. We can see Martin's right on the back of Foxside now. Might have a chance. Foxside will have DRS himself, of course.
Just about.
Just about from Unleashed.
I'm surprised Foxside hasn't capitalised more on the fact that Unleashed hasn't actually got one of his...
Oh!
Sam, that looked like contact to me. That looked like Martin outbroke himself.
He definitely touched the back of Foxside there, but luckily I think it didn't really affect any of the cars too much.
Just to let him know he's there. Just to let him know that he's there. Hopefully for his own sake and his own heart rate, he won't get as close down into the second chicane, and he doesn't. He stays in 8th place.
Yeah. But Foxside now definitely knows he's there, so maybe that was...
Well, you see, that's the bonus. That's the bonus now, you know. Foxside definitely knows he's there.
And now he's no longer there.
Well, clearly the pressure got to him. You see, these tactics do work. Don't doubt them. Martin running into the back slightly of the Sauber and pressurising him into the mistake. Next up is Unleashed for the Caterham driver.
It's always a bit nerve-wracking when you're seeing the championship leader, like, basically pushing you around the corner. That's when you know you need to be in your best game, and, Foxside unfortunately wasn't on the next corner there.
Unfortunately not.
Leobot challenging then for another podium. He's had a few recently, I believe. Leobot finishing on the podium last time out in India, of course, second place, and he was also third in Singapore. Those are the 2 podiums he's had this season. Losing a bit of time through the first part of the lap here, though. I'm going to jump back. Lest still running in 5th. Unleashed is now going to be very much under pressure from Martin.
My word, the Sauber trying to lunge up the inside. Either that or outbrake himself slightly. And now, I tell you what, Martin knows the Sauber's there. It's just returning the favour. Is it Foxside or is it Orbit Pride? I think we've probably been over it's Foxside, yeah. But now Martin knows he's there, but he's got a DRS towards the back of the Red Bull. This looks as if it's going to be job done at the inside. Unleashed isn't going to fight it too much, and Martin, probably the easiest move we've seen all day, just gently moving up the inside there at the end of the first chicane.
Yep, no major dramas for him on that overtake, which is what he needs, really. Because he needs to just salvage as many points as he can in this race. You'd have to think maybe at this point that Limitless, having the gap he has out in front at the moment, it's going to be very, very difficult for Martin to get anywhere near him by the end of the race. But
it's with Limitless, difficult to get next to E. I think it's going to be difficult to catch Evo.
Yeah,
let alone Limitless, to be honest, because Evo's quite a long way in front of Pride.
And but you never really know around Abu Dhabi though, with Limitless' luck here in the last 3 seasons. He scored in the last 3 seasons. Limitless has scored a grand total of 1 point at Abu Dhabi.
It's better than 0.
So he's going to basically do 25 times better than his last 3 seasons combined if he wins this race.
Now that is a stat. That is a stat.
Very interesting stat as well. So, Foxside getting very close to Unleashed. Didn't hit him this time.
He's taken a leaf out of Martin's notebook, hasn't he? By just this gentle tap going into these slow corners, just to let the driver know in front that he's there. But it's getting a little bit close for comfort. It has to be said. I think.
Yeah.
Probably will have this done as long as he gets a good X out of the hairpin, which he's not going to because he's missed the apex and gone out onto the marbles. Shouldn't have said anything, Niran. Commentator's curse. He's going to use the curse though coming out of the hairpin, but it's not going to be enough. Get DRS, but he won't be anywhere near close enough to get to Unleashed. Down towards the chicane. Looks as if there might be a battle going on for 3rd, 4th, and 5th up the road.
Ooh. Skip. Go on, cameras, you slow ass. Just make me mad. Skipping through the cameras. Hey, oh my god, we got Leobot challenging with Pride with DRS on the 2nd straight there, and he's got to move down very, very easily ahead into the braking zone for the chicane, and Leobot up to the podium position. Got a little bit wide though in the first part of the triple chicane. With Pride, he's got a lot better exit, and here we go.
Just about getting the job done.
He's done it.
Leobot chops the nose off of Lest as well to make sure he doesn't lose 2 positions. This is a great battle going on for the final podium position. Nothing much going on 1st and 2nd, but oh my, lockups from all 3 of these guys. Pride goes really wide, and he's now got Leobot all over the back of him, going through this corner where, of course, Leobot had the crash in qualifying, and thankfully, no major dramas going through this time. But Orbit Pride is feeling the pressure. He's gone wide again through the penultimate corner. Leobot practically pushing him through the final corner.
Less than 1 pit.
Less goes into the pit lane.
So that's the end of lap 10. Yeah, might have been one of the. I think he did lap 4, if I remember. Yeah, of course. Lester went on to another set of these soft tires, didn't he? So he's done a bit of an alternate strategy actually. That Lester F1. The rest of the guys are on the mediums.
Yeah, they're pitting far earlier than everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. Which might be good for Lester F1. He's going to get some clear air. Well, you thought anyway. Unless he's really unlucky, and on the fresher tires might get himself a gap to these guys, and then it'll be a case of him to try and defend later in the race when these guys will be under better tires. But Leobot now will have a chance to get back up to that podium position, and he will be hoping that he can do it without messing up his braking. For the next one is that one. Orbit braked a lot later, going to be sabotaged through the chicane. I'm trying to find the best angle to see everything. Leobot's hanging around the outside of the 2nd apex there. I think Orbit probably got a little bit on the curve there, possibly on the inside. Certainly didn't help. And not really, it's actually closest DRS based on that graphic. I think Orbit probably just let Leobot have that for a bit. I'm sure he'll be back. He will not be wanting to give up on the fight for the podium.
No, I'm sure not. It'll be interesting to see where Lest feeds out into all of this, because he's got a massive undercut on the rest of them. So when these guys pit, will he be a good 3 or 4 seconds in front?
Yeah. And man, we aren't even halfway through the race. I feel like a lot of things have happened.
The drama already.
Literally, it's only drama. And literally battles all the way. Suddenly, down in the midfield. I think...
Leo Potts! Oh, my word! Whoa, lag. Whoa, lag.
Okay.
Wow, okay, just false alarm. It looks as if Leobot, in that Toro Rosso as well, had just completely recreated TRL Limitless's pit entry and gone straight into the wall. Thankfully, he did make it in unscathed. Sorry to anyone that gave a heart attack or two in the chat. Martin's in as well into the pit lane behind him.
Worth mentioning, Evo pitted from second place, and to be honest, he was only like, I think he was still only a couple of seconds behind Limitless when they went in, and once again pitting a lap earlier than Limitless. So you'd think that maybe he could get within the rest range by the undercut here potentially. We'll have to keep an eye on those two, as Limitless, you would assume, pits at the end of this lap. Martin comes out in P6.
Leobot's out of the pit lane and behind Lest. So that undercut worked, an absolute treat for him. It's about a 2-second gap as well.
Yep.
Up the road. One lap undercut. That's powerful.
That is very powerful indeed. So let's see. There's a couple of cars pretty close back here. Yee under pressure from one of the Saubers. Is that Foxside? I believe it is. Yee defending the inside line well though. Foxside will have another chance at the next DRS straight, but based on what has happened earlier in the race, Foxside hasn't really nailed the exits too well onto these straights. And once again, looks like he won't be close enough to Yi. And he indeed is not. So this is when then I'm going to jump back to the leader of the race, Limitless, into the pit lane. One lap after the man who was closest to him on track, NLR Evo, went in. And it'll be very, very interesting to see how close they are.
I am watching Evo. Into the pit lane in front of him has come a Sauber driver. Again, that lag is just catching me out. The Sauber driver looking as if he goes into the wall, but doesn't. Limitless is coming out of the pit lane, isn't he? Going underneath. I tell you what, this is going to be close. This is going to be Evo's got it. Evo, I think, might just get this. Limitless is on the inside.
There he is!
So close! A matter of basically nothing. Evo does just about stay in second, but he's going to have DRS, and of course, Limitless, I think, will be on cold tyres as well. And just come out of the pit lane. This could be Evo's massive opportunity to take the lead here. I don't know if he's going to get many more opportunities beyond now, unless he can stick in the DRS of Limitless in front of him. Use some curves, come out of the hairpin. This is job done. This is job done already. He's massively in slipstream. Surely.
He's barely even used his curse.
Done. I don't think he even needed to use the DRS, to be honest with you. I think that was just rubbing salt into the wounds, to be honest. But Evo takes the lead then from Limitless down into second place. Behind that net, third is Lest F1, if I'm correct. In the Caterham, Martin's a net 6th, isn't he? So for those wondering where Martin is, he had an accident with Yi on lap 1, or, well, corner 1, in fact. Dropped down to the back of the order. He's sort of working his way back up, but I don't know. Third looks as if it's going to be the highest he can finish at the moment, and even that's probably going to take some effort.
Indeed, and well, we've had a lot of battling in the midfield in this in the first half of this race, but now we have a fight in our hands for the win as well. Evo looking very fast even after passing Limitless there for the lead. He's definitely...
He's extending away, isn't he?
He is really pulling out just very little by little on every corner here. Limitless, the last thing he wants or needs is to drop out of the DRS range. And even
that could happen. That could genuinely happen with that lap that Evo's just done. I reckon there's about 7 tenths, 8 tenths between them already. Poor first sector as Limitless misses his apex for the first corner, and he could be out of DRS range. I was about to say the crowd. The crowd has not gone wild. The chat's gone wild about Evo taking the lead off Limitless.
Yeah, Evo once again throwing a spanner in the works for the championship contenders. He's obviously, certainly in the middle part of the season, he wasn't really setting the world alight in terms of his results. Usually done in the midfield after obviously winning at Monaco. But of course, in the last 2 races, he's in a great form. He got third in India last time out, and of course won the race in Japan 2 races ago. And now he's on course for another win here, possibly, if he can have a fight off Limitless, and second place at worst, you would have thought, given the gap that these two have to the rest of the field.
It's a monumental gap back to third place.
Yeah.
Absolutely huge.
The third place car just come into the chicane back there
That's a ridiculous amount of time. That is ridiculous. But Evo, crucially, holds off Limitless down both of the back straights, despite Limitless having DRS, I think, both times, otherwise he wouldn't have got that close.
Yeah.
If Evo runs quick again, you never know, could break the DRS through the next lap.
Yeah. Well, Limitless has done a good job here, to be honest, to close the gap again. He's getting closer here now. He's maybe was slightly flustered by Evo getting very close to him and passing him. But now he seems to have gotten his rhythm back a little bit. And is very much keeping with Evo now throughout the final sector of lap 15. So just over halfway in the race now. Guys in the chat, let me know who you think will win this race.
It's looking like a straight 50-50 call at the moment, to be honest with you. I don't think
yeah.
there's going to be any more than 2 people. Limitless messes up corner 1 again. A lot of talk about dirty air in real life. I don't know if it's really affecting Limitless going through turn 1, because he's gone massively wide and kind of wide as well through turns 2 and 3. But yeah, as Fisi says, drop it in the chat whether what you think is going to be the result of this one. Whether it's going to be Evo, whether it's going to be Limitless winning this one. Someone's just compared Evo to Leicester in the chat. Is that a fair comparison?
It's hard to say really, because unlike Leicester, Evo didn't have any previous experience in the league before this season. He's kind of a rookie in the league, but in that sense, maybe you could say, because he's certainly kind of come out of nowhere and started to getting race wins.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Evo very much a talent that has emerged, especially in the last few races.
Yeah, I'm very impressed, actually. If you can just get some more consistency together as Limitless even, I don't have a lisp, I don't know why I pronounced it like that. Limitless gets very close down towards the end of the second back straight, but again, not really close enough. I think he thought about a dive bomb just for a split second, but gave up on it in the end. Yeah, I'm impressed with Evo. Just needs to get some more consistency together. It seems to be either he's absolutely there on the podium winning races, or he's right down there in the mid-pack, but certainly some potential.
Yep. So, just going to give a quick check back. Leobot now in third place, so he's passed Lest.
That didn't take long. And he's gapped him already as well.
Yeah, and there's a big gap behind Leicester as well. And I see, wait, that's not Leicester, that's Martin in P4!
Excuse me? Well,
Martin is P4!
How have we missed this? We're going to get grilled in the chat.
Clearly because we were watching the lead. To be honest, surely they have some mercy as we were watching the lead battle.
Yeah, to be fair, it was a good battle, wasn't it? Let's be honest. But Martin is up into fourth place. Well, I don't think this changes his maximum position that he can possibly attain, which is probably third. But it's a decent effort so far. Where is Lest then? Where is Lest? I'm going on a search. I'm going on a...
Yeah, you need to find him.
Well, he's directly behind, actually. He's in fifth. Right. So he's not lost too much time. That's Yi in sixth as well.
And Limitless is passing Evo back, but no, he's not actually. He just got very close in the braking zone. Evo then braked later on the outside line. Limitless is going to get a much better line through the chicane though to have a chance at Evo. But Evo, despite the less optimal line, gets a very good exit. And I think Limitless not actually be close enough after all. Very indeed. Limitless stays behind. I'm going to jump back to the third place battle. Martin is now getting very close to Leobot on the second DRS straight as well. Oh, he's trying to switch it inside. Leobot didn't want any of that, but Martin's just forced himself through the gap and made the move stick. Leobot getting very close, but has to back off in the end with a little bit of lag. And Martin, after being pretty much at the back of the field after the first corner in this race, is up to the podium positions again. And that is a great race in terms of damage limitation for him, to be honest. I don't think he will have too much of a chance to get any more than third here, given the gap, as we've mentioned, to the top two in front. They are already at turn 1 on the next lap. But, you know, certainly if Martin will be hoping that Evo can fight off Limitless then out in front, because if that happens, then he will actually only lose 3 points to Limitless, whereas if Limitless wins, he will lose 10 points to Limitless. So, really, it's such a crucial fight for Limitless this to win this race. It can really make or break his championship challenge, just getting first or second and beating Evo in this race. So, Niran, are you with me?
I am. Mike was muted. I'm very sorry.
Right.
Yeah, serious. This battle for first place is probably one of the most... I'm just going to carry on. I'm just going to pretend it didn't happen, okay? You didn't see anything. You didn't hear anything.
Clearly didn't hear anything.
Well, anyway, nevertheless, no, I'm only joking. Nevertheless, I love you really. The battle for first is basically one of the most...
It's still going on though! Oh, they're very close, side by side through the triple chicane. Oh my word! Limitless is retaking the lead here if he can hold on to the inside line. Oh, and he has done. Limitless back in front of Evo as the sun is about to set with 10 laps to go here in this amazing race. Niran, man, you need to show up for these races more often because every time you're here, it's an amazing race.
I will try. I'll also try and, unmute my microphone every now and again. That might be helpful. Limitless, they're taking the lead back. He must be listening. He must be listening.
Niran, check for penalties. The chat shouts at you.
Okay, fine. I'm going to check for penalties. Jesus Christ, there's capital letters everywhere. Right. It just says on the laps remaining, doesn't it, if they have a penalty or the best time.
It should just say it on the timing board, yeah.
Okay, there's no penalties. That's been decided. There's no penalties. Don't worry, everyone.
Right. So, by the looks of the minimap, Martin pulling away slightly from Leebot and seems to have a third bag under control. Third bag? Third place in the bag is probably what I was thinking about saying. But yeah, this is a major battle. There's still a three-way scrap, I think, going on for 5th place, possibly. And Evo actually dropping a little bit off Limitless now. Limitless just gotten back into the rhythm. Obviously, Limitless on 1 lap fresher tires as well.
Yeah, just tires perhaps going off.
Yep.
What time? What lap will these guys be thinking of pitting? Probably 1 or 2 laps from now.
I feel like most of them went in on like lap 12 or something last time, 11 or 12.
Maybe.
So yeah,
very soon actually. I think that could be the issue. I think Evo's tyres could be going off in comparison.
That's the thing, though.
To Limitless.
Yeah, that I definitely agree with that. The thing is, though, that if Evo, I think he'll be happy if he can stay just reasonably close to Limitless here, because if he once again is allowed to get the undercut, then we'll be in the same situation again, where he might jump Limitless in the pits, or certainly jump back onto the back of him.
Yeah, that's a good point. But then again, it falls back into the lap of Limitless as Evo goes very wide actually there. Through the corner where Leobot had his accident in qualifying. But yeah, then it goes back again to Limitless. Will he have, a massive advantage towards the end of the race because he's on the fresher tyres? It seems to be happening in this stint, so I can't see why it wouldn't happen in the last stint as well.
That's the thing. You're going to have to pick one or the other, track position or better tyre life at the end. Limitless going for the latter in this race, as he had done many a time in the past as well. Not always this season, because this has often caught him out a little bit when he's done that, but in this one is currently working out for him. But Evo not giving up, despite having slightly more one tyres. He's still hanging on, but I think he might have just dropped out of DRS range here on lap 20 out of 28. And he has indeed. The gap is extended enough for Limitless to be a bit comfortable, at least until after the next pit stops. To be honest, if I was Limitless in this situation, I'll... don't know. Does he really want to give Evo the undercut opportunity again?
Probably not. Probably not. He's probably going to know that Evo is going to try and pit. We've got a good battle going on between Orbit Pride and Unleashed down the second part of the back straight. No, the first part of the back straight even. Unleashed going to try and go to the inside. Obviously, he's got a fixed front wing now after knocking an end fence off. Orbit Pride takes the position. I don't actually understand. They're 7th and 8th. These guys have ended up so far down the order in comparison to where they were. These guys were battling for 3rd and 4th.
Yeah.
With less, there's Orbit Pride is really shoving Unleashed out towards the outside of the track, but I think he's going to still get around the outside down towards the second chicane.
Close, he's got the
inside! But just about holds on. Cheeky corner cut there from Orbit Pride, but I don't think it's going to help him.
All of a sudden.
And then runs into the back of Unleashed. That's pushed him out wide, but I think Unleashed is still just about going to hold on, despite some very frantic racing. I don't even... What were we talking about? What were we talking about before?
Is that lag, or is he actually just railing off Unleashed's rear tyre? I feel like it might have been slightly lag, because Unleashed car just didn't seem affected at all. And yeah, you can see Orbit kind of twitching about it a little bit weirdly at times, going very close again to Unleashed and kind of twitching back towards the left of the track, as the cars are now in the pit. So there is a car. I think Limitless stayed out once again, because there's a car miles out in front.
So maybe Evo's pitted. So Evo's gone for the undercut again.
Oh, and Orbit Pride's getting held in his box.
Held in the pit lane. I was going to say it was going to be a fascinating battle in the pit lane between himself and Unleashed, and that's completely ruined it. There was a caterer in the pit lane as well. Do you think that was Martin, maybe? One of them was in, because the pit crew were just jumping straight back into the pit lane.
Yep. Oxide coming out in P7, just behind Less F1. Had already pitted, I believe. So, and then Leobot now P5.
Okay, so Leobot's pitted then? Because Evo's pitted. Evo's pitted. So Evo's going to get an undercut again on Limitless. And you were just saying, should Limitless try and cut off this undercut before it actually happens? And he hasn't been able to. He clearly thinks the tyres probably won't last until the end in a very good state anyway, if he pits now. So he's willing to allow Evo to get the undercut in the knowledge and the confidence that he's going to pass him again when Evo's tyres have gone off towards the end of the race.
Yeah, that's the thing. Limitless might have just maybe felt comfortable. He wasn't too phased by the battle he had with the Evo there. Obviously, he managed to get the gap back in the end at the end of the stints, and you can see it working out the same way on the last stint. But, you know, when you're allowing someone to get close to you and have a battle, then it always opens the little opportunity for incidents, potentially.
Yeah, exactly.
Although,
in his position,
Limitless,
he's not risking that.
Limitless and Evo are not two drivers so that you would expect to have an incident.
It's going to be close again out of the pit lane. I'm watching Evo. Limitless has just been in the pit lane.
He'll have jumped him, surely.
He's jumped him, yeah. It's about the same gap as it was before, but this time the roles are reversed. Evo comes out in front instead, and Limitless will get the DRS on the first lap after coming out the pit lane, instead of vice versa. So this is going to be fascinating again, certainly whilst Evo's tyres are still, you know, in some sort of good shape.
Yeah, I don't think Evo will start to feel any sort of tyre wear until in a few laps' time.
He pulls very far to the left-hand side, clearly to break some sort of slipstream, very extreme from Evo, but, you know, if it does the job, why not?
Yeah.
Limitless didn't seem as if he was anywhere near close enough to actually warrant getting a slipstream, but I suppose every little helps. He's obviously going to have the second DRS stint down his second back straight, but again, doesn't look as if he's anywhere near close enough. I think Evo's going to hold on for now, just for a few laps. He certainly seemed to have actually better pace than Limitless earlier on in the stint when Limitless had just come out of the pit lane. If he can try and keep hold of that and try and extend and just be a bit, maybe less harsh on his tyres, you never know. This could be an even better battle than it was before.
Yep, and, well, certainly, our advantage or not, Limitless once again has it all to do in terms of he needs to pass Evo yet again if he wants to win this race and, you know, for the chance of extending the gap to Martin by 10 points rather than just 3, which could be absolutely massive. If he extends the gap by 10 points to Martin, he'll be only 6 points behind going into round 16. Where on earth are we next? I don't even know. The United States Grand Prix, I believe, at Austin. 3 rounds to go after this. Obviously, United States usually the penultimate round of the season, unless I'm completely mistaken. But we have actually, because of a couple of races were removed earlier in the season, drivers actually decided to do a vote to bring a track back for the penultimate race, just to make the calendar an 18-race calendar again. So we will actually go back to Spa, I believe, for the penultimate race for a second time. Which is interesting, which is why we have 3 more races to go after this one. And of course, the season finale will, as usual, be at Interlagos, a track which I absolutely love.
Very good choice to have 2 Spa rounds. If only Formula 1, you know, the FIA would listen as well. 2 rounds at Spa, can you imagine, throughout the season?
Yeah. Certainly, I'd rather have 2 Spas than, you know, 1 Spa and 1 Monza or Canada on this particular game anyway.
Well, yeah, quite Limitless, getting really close to Evo. Can you feel the pressure, Evo? That's the question right now, because JD is all over the back of him. But the DRS opportunities are gone for the rest of this lap, and he's going to have to wait till lap 24 if he wants to overtake him for now anyway. The gap is still massive back to Martin. There is... Even if these guys have, I mean, I'm not tempting fate, but even if these guys start tripping each other up and just battling really intensely, there's absolutely no way Martin is going to be able to catch up with these guys. And I think it's probably Leo Bott behind him as well in 4th place. At least it's not
it
5th.
It is indeed, yeah.
If that's the case.
Last F1 is challenging Foxside for P5 at the moment, I believe. There you can see Martin going around the final corner now, while the top 2 have already rounded the first corner. So you can see the gap there with only, what would that be, only 5 laps to go? Yeah. So that's definitely not going to be caught, that gap, unless these 2 have an incident. You never know. Well, Limitless might get a bit frustrated if he can't get Evo in the next few laps. And,
he looks closer, though, this time, but not the greatest of exits. And again, Evo with this extreme cover to the inside to try and break the slipstream, but Limitless reads it and gets in the slipstream. He's bearing down. Will he go for an inside lunge? I don't think he's quite close enough, but surely through the second DRS zone, he's going to be able to make a move. And obviously, that actually, in some sense, is actually the better place to make an overtake because it means that the person can't come straight back at you. Although
Didn't have much curse yet left though.
Yeah. Evo uses curse coming out of that chicane, and it keeps Limitless at bay. So despite getting really, really close coming into the first chicane, he can't make it count again for the second lap in a row.
That's the beautiful sunset is coming down on this race. Just over 4 laps to go, and these guys have a race victory to sort out between them. Going around the very technical final sector, nowhere to pass here for Limitless. Now to wait until the DRS straight once again, unless Evo makes a mistake on one of the corners. On the minimap, Martin still looking very comfortable back in 3rd place, Leobot as well in 4th, and Boxside still ahead of Leicester F1 in P5. Who's that battling for 7th at the moment?
I don't know, actually. I'll tell you what, I'm going to have a look. It is Unleashed and Yi. The action not over for Yi yet, of course it wouldn't be. But he's just behind the... Oh, no, he's not... Oh, I don't even know. It didn't let me change over, but I think he's just behind Unleashed. So there's a few battles going on. There's obviously the battle for the lead. Looks like there's a battle for 7th place, and there's a battle much further down, but I think we should probably focus on the battle for the lead.
I probably agree with that, yeah.
Yeah.
On to the DRS straight once again. 4 times more we will be here, well, including this one. And once again, not quite close enough, getting very close to Evo. Evo taking just a slightly defensive line, a little bit off the racing line there, just to cover up and make sure. And once again, though, gets a very, very good exit. Limitless just can't keep up with him in the exit out of the chicane.
Ultra smooth out of that second chicane. That's what's keeping Limitless at bay at the moment, because he's getting literally agonizingly close to being able to make a move, literally to the point of a tiny bit of contact at the end of the first chicane. But then he can't get it hooked up coming out of the second chicane in comparison to Evo in the lead. So it's either going to have to be a kamikaze move, or he's going to have to sort his exits out coming out of that second chicane for Limitless to take the lead.
Yeah, indeed, and or hope for Evo's tyre to drop off too much in the final couple of laps.
That's a very good point. Tyre wear, of course, as well. Going to play a massive role probably here.
Yeah, and well, at least Limitless is doing a good job compared to what he's done previously around Abu Dhabi, although not quite as good a job around the final corner there. He's completely missed the apex and dropped time to Evo. Obviously, this is a battle between a wheel driver and a pad driver. Once again, the pad driver, Limitless, missing the apex 2 corners in a row.
Turn 1, he's missed the apex a good 4 or 5 times going through turn 1 now. And I don't think it's going to be enough to drop him out of DRS range. You know, he's good. No. He's a good, you know, sort of 7-8 tenths back. A little bit closer now going through that chicane. He was good through there. But he needs to, he needs to just... Evo's certainly driving a lot more clean and concisely at the moment. If he looks as if he's not under pressure, to be honest with you, whereas Limitless does look as if he's under pressure, which he is, obviously.
Yeah.
He's fighting for the championship. Evo's got some sort of freedom because he's fighting for a win, but there's no championship at stake, whereas there is for Limitless, who thinks about to move up the inside. Ooh. Evo maybe spooked a little bit. He left him some space. This can mean finally a better exit out of the chicane for Limitless, who will be in the slipstream. Curse used by Evo coming out of the chicane, but again, Limitless looks as if he's not quite close enough. He might look for a move around the outside just about. Oh. He switches to the inside, but not quite close enough. Evo goes wide, though, coming through the first part of the chicane. Limitless trying to hold it around the outside. It becomes the inside of the third part of the chicane. Tiny bit of contact. Evo getting out of shape. Limitless going up the inside, but just about can't hold on. Evo holds it around the outside. Fantastic racing, perhaps. The first signs that Evo's tyres are starting to go off because that exit out of the second chicane was not good. Limitless forcing the issue by lunging it up the inside ever so slightly, spooking Evo. What battling we have got here for the final 2 laps of this one.
Fantastic battle between these guys. I think, as you said, he kind of spooked him. I don't think Evo expected Limitless to shoot up the inside there, but somehow out of the chicane he actually managed to get a pretty good exit that made Limitless have to work so hard down the triple chicane and the corner after to try and get past. And in the end, Evo, with incredible defensive lines, just managed to hold on. And Limitless has it all to do again. He's only got 2 more chances to do it in terms of as far as DRS goes anyway. 2 more laps to go in this race. You know, come down again to the DRS zone. He's clearly within a second now. Can he get to the exit he needs? I think he's got a decent one here, you know.
Pretty decent. That looked pretty good. It's enough to party, put it that way. It's not fantastic, but he should be in the slipstream. Evo's used half of his curves battery.
There we go.
coming out of the hairpin. That is going to be at least alongside down into the chicane. Will Evo be too kind again down into chicane? Yeah, he brakes really cautiously. He knows, though, that he's going to get DRS down the second straight. Limitless doesn't get the best of exits, and this looks as if Evo could get the job done again. He's using the rest of his curves down this second straight. He's going to have the DRS. He's going to try and pull to the outside, will he? Limitless defends on the inside. He's going to play the same move, a tiny bit of contact there between the two of them. Limitless goes back up the inside. This is amazing racing. Evo pushed out wide, though, by Limitless. Ooh, feisty stuff indeed, and Limitless has held on. This is crucial now. Only one more lap to go. Only one more chance for Evo to get this back.
Absolutely crucial. Evo will be pushing as hard as he can now to keep up with Limitless, and obviously this is such an crucial battle for the championship as well, even though Evo isn't anywhere near involved in the championship battle at the top. But for Limitless to get 7 further points over Martin, that is huge, with only 3 more races to go after this. And Evo, can he stay close enough to have a go? I think Limitless has been better through the final sector there.
Yeah, he's gapped Evo a little bit. He has, just a little bit. Still within DRS range, but that is a decent-ish gap that Evo's got to reclaim with the DRS. If he's going to get done, it's going to get done down the second DRS straight. He won't be close enough down the first one.
No, and I think it's potentially a repeat then of what happened on the previous stint, even though it took Limitless longer this time to get past Evo.
Nice through the hairpin, though, from Evo. That's kept him in play. That's definitely kept him in play. Limitless went a tiny bit wide. He got a better exit to Evo. He's going to have the DRS. If I was him, I wouldn't lunge up the inside at this point, but I don't think that's going to stop him. He's in the slipstream. Decides not. Limitless goes defensive, covers the centre of the track. He needs to make that Marusha as wide as possible now.
Evo a little bit on the marbles as well, on the outside, into the chicane. It's pretty close. Can he get close? Yes, he will have a chance. Oh my word, he's closing so fast! Limitless is going to have to defend this.
Limitless will break really late. He shoves him out wide.
Oh, there's a side pod glitch.
Evo spins. I think Limitless has spun as well. But Limitless has managed to hold on. He's going to let Evo back through. Fantastic sportsmanship, but a bit of contact again through the next corner. It's pushed Evo out wide. Limitless lets him back through again. And wow, carnage on the final lap. Evo spinning. I think Limitless with a half spin as well.
That is absolutely huge for the championship, and to be honest, a very, very fair play for Limitless to give the position back, given what is at stake here. 7 points over Martin. He can get more than what he will get by just finishing second place. There's only 1 corner to go in the race. Can Evo hold on? Limitless needs to get a fantastic exit to have a chance, but no, Evo wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Limitless cannot extend the gap or close it down to 6 points behind Martin. It is instead 13 points. Martin only losing out by 3 points. And Leobot finishing just outside the podium this time. You can see Martin pulled a huge gap to him in the end, finishing third. Gerald Martin, as the camera now not finding a driver to spectate. But wow, what a finish that was, Niran. Jesus Christ.
The absolute scenes. There's 10-second penalties as well for a few drivers. Neither of the ones involved, though, with that final lap scuffle between Limitless and Evo. Only penalties for Pride and Harayanto, but oh my word, as we lose connection to Martin right at the end. Wow.
Question is, will we lose connection to his Twitter account again?
Oh, please, no. Please. He should be happy. Evo has done him a massive favour right there. Definitely. Limitless, fair play. Really, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of calls for great sportsmanship from Limitless, it has to be said. Lots of well done Evos. The chat, unsurprisingly, going absolutely haywire with that one, but wow, that was one of the best last laps we've seen in quite some time.
Definitely, and in the end, Evo came out on top after Limitless gave him the position back after the incident. Sportsmanship, as we mentioned, Martin getting third, Leobot fourth, Foxside Less F1, and Leashed Yi, K-Block, and Orbit Pride rounding off the top 10. And someone also didn't score points. I didn't see who, because I forgot. I think it was Harayanto. But yeah, NLR Evo, his third race win of the season. Fantastic drive to fight off the championship contender NLR Evo. He didn't fight off NLR Evo, he was NLR Evo fighting off Tiro Limitless. And Martin racing. Oh, just very lucky really to only lose 3 points in the championship. But also unlucky to be caught up in that incident with Yi at the start, which was mainly blamed at the curb on the outside of turn 1, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Oh my word. I'm going to need to get my voice back after that. Holy Mother of God. That was a really good race, just in general. Obviously, the incident right at the start. I tell you what, the Williams drivers, they did their best to put up one hell of a show for everyone. The Yi accident at the start with Martin and K-Block and a few others, then proceeding to get involved afterwards. Evo and Limitless battling. I don't know what the result was of the question when we asked who people thought would win, but I assume probably most people thought Limitless, given the tyre wear advantage that he would have at the end. But Evo did a fantastic job to hold on to the coattails of Limitless on that final lap and to get back past. In some guise or another, it wasn't exactly clean, but the pass was made, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, definitely. And Limitless now on Twitter posting a picture of a man sweating very hard, which is clearly a sign of what he is feeling right now. That must have been such a sweaty race for both him and Evo as well in that battle for the win. Absolutely amazing. Limitless will be, of course, probably quite frustrated with himself. He felt that he caused that incident that got Evo into a sideboard glitch. Fair play to him to give the position back, as I said, given how much was at stake. He has now still though closed the gap to Martin a little bit, from 16 points down to 13 points with 3 rounds of the championship to go. And wow, that was incredibly enjoyable, and hopefully we'll get more of that next time. Yeah, I don't think there's too much more to say, apart from GG to the drivers, first of all, for giving us a fantastic race, and GG to you, Niran, for once again being amazing up here in the commentary box with me in Matty's absence.
Well, I'm glad that I had the opportunity to commentate on that, because that was an absolutely fantastic race. Well done to all the drivers, absolutely awesome stuff. Fairly clean racing the majority of the time, but even then, fantastic sportsmanship afterwards as well. Driver of the day, I'm seeing a lot of Evos in the chat. I don't think there's much surprise in that one. Where did Evo qualify again? It wasn't first
5th,
three.
maybe? I think it was 5th or something.
Yeah, so great drive from him, because obviously it was Yi, then Martin, then Limitless, so really well done to Evo and to Limitless for the great sportsmanship, and to Martin for a great recovery drive, damage limitation from him. Thank you very much, Fisi, for having me as well, and allowing me to commentate on such a monumental race. That was wow.
As I said, both the times we've been in this season have been absolutely amazing in terms of the racing, and yeah, obviously it's without a shadow without that. If Matty is absent again, you'll be the man I will be asking to be here with me. So
thank you very much, bro.
Yeah, so that's wraps it up for this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, I believe. Next week, actually, I think there's a break week again next week because of Easter. Although I'm gonna have to confirm with that, because the break weeks are kind of stacking up. But yeah, either way, the next race, whether that's next week or the week after that, will be, of course, at the Austin circuit. Well, that's not the name of it, but it's the United States Grand Prix. And yeah, hope you all will join us again for that. What an amazing race we just witnessed here today. And yeah, we'll see you for the next race. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.
Goodbye.